Maybe you want to sit closer because I don't think I want to shout, right? Yeah, if you have a mic, then it's okay. Otherwise, so yeah, come in. I could be doing anything else, right? But since you're here, so I thank you all. And as Mataji has requested us to speak on the developing one's Krishna consciousness, so the topic she has requested is to discuss today is on desires. So I'll start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Yes, so desire. More or less we know what desire means. Something that we want, something if it's more than a desire, then we can say we covet that intensely. And if it's even more than covetousness, then it becomes greed to some extent, or it becomes lusty in another extreme. So this is how desire changes. So for a common man, desire, or a common woman, desire means something that they want to achieve in their life. They have goals. Everyone has some kind of goals, aims in life. So to achieve your aim or goals, you develop sub-goals, things like that. And so you derive a plan that will give you the attainment of that desire. So that is basically what most people are pursuing in this world. They have a desire, they want to get it fulfilled, and they've set out putting out a plan. And in the same way, just like in the material world, you have to set out some plans. Similarly, in the spiritual world, you also, to get spiritual goals or spiritual qualities that you want to attain, and if you desire that, you also have to have spiritual goals, spiritual plan. In any situation, if you go, in any place you go, or you want to do anything, you must have certain plans to execute. Even as a student, many of you may have experienced college and so on. So you must have had some plans or to do something, unless you are one of those who's too intelligent or just too foolish, right? You have some plan or you don't have a plan and you're just happy-go-lucky kind of person. And if you're happy-go-lucky, then the result is also happy-go-lucky. So that's how it is. That's a reality. So for most of us who come to Krishna consciousness, we have some desire to attain the realm of spiritual abode. We all want to go back to where the Lord is. We don't kid about it. In some sense, we are serious about it, and then we want to achieve that. But how strong that desire is varies from each individual. We all would say, if I were to say, how many of you want to go back to the kingdom of God? You know, all of you would say, yeah. Right? But what are you doing about it? Well, you know, right? So this is something which is very common, even in the material society. A lot of us have strong desires, or we have weak desires, right? If you have strong desires, you'll do something about it. If your desire is not strong, then you're not going to do anything about it. And that's a fact. And so if you achieve something concrete in your life, it means you have a strong desire and you achieved it. But if you could not attain it, then chances are you didn't have that strong a desire. That's one thing. The other thing is it could be your karma, which can inhibit certain goals that you have. So you have to also weigh that in consideration. But when we come to spiritual side, it's only one important thing. It's how strong your desire is. And that, on the basis of the strength of that desire, you can overcome your karma. Interesting, isn't it? Because the activities that you do in spiritual pursuant, all that activities are linked to Krishna, or we call that transcendental activities. When it is transcendental, your karma can't touch it. Even though your karma may be there, but it cannot touch it. Because it's your desire is now protected by the Supreme Personality of God. Therefore, desire is very important, how you achieve desire. So in the Bhagavad Gita, in case you want to look at it, in the 7th chapter, verse 27, knowledge of the Absolute, Krishna addresses one of these things to Arjuna. So I'll read that. Icha dvesa samuddena dvandva mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sargayanti parantapa. 7:27. Got it? You got the book in your hand? So there in Krishna says, O scion of Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities arisen from desire and hate. Okay, so that's the translation. Srila Prabhupada says this delusion is caused by the interaction of the living entity with the material universe. Whenever you interact with the material energy, your true nature is covered. Your true qualities are covered. And why do we interact with the material nature? It's because we desire to enjoy. But what is wrong with that? It's because our true nature is not to desire with the material energy. Rather, our true nature is meant to be serving and enjoying with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If we fail to understand that, then we have no choice. If you don't understand that is our true identity, our true role, then we have no choice, but the only choice we are faced with is the material nature. And when you are exposed to something that you don't really know anything, the way our body is made up of senses, and the senses want to be pleased. So material energy affords us that pleasure. Therefore, whenever we don't understand what we are meant to do, when we are exposed to something, we tend to find pleasure in one of our senses. Either we like to see something, smell something, eat something, taste something like that. So that's dominated by our senses. And that's where Krishna says the living entity is born into delusion. Because he doesn't know when he takes birth. It's not like you don't see every child that comes out from the mother's womb and says, I know everything. They don't know. They are in total bewilderment and they are frightened, they're screaming. You don't see any child taking birth and laughing, right? Huh? Right? They don't come out saying, oh, wow, that's great. No, actually, it is hellish. That's why they are crying. Have you ever thought about that? Think about it. They're crying because it's not pleasurable. But as they develop, that fear is covered up. So therefore, you're born into delusion. The reality is lost. Okay? And it is lost because the whole perception, the whole understanding of the living entity is desire and hate. He desires something and he hates something. I don't like this. Right? You can see in little kids. Take the spinach. No, I don't want the spinach. I hate it. Give me chocolate. Because that tastes better. It's based on senses. And if you don't know reality, and if you grow up all through your life based on your senses, an adult will also behave in the same way. And therefore, oftentimes, you see an adult behaving like a child. They may have a PhD or whatever, they still may be reacting based on their senses. So, Krishna consciousness means one has to react from the basis of spirituality, not on the basis of the body. The basis of the body is the senses. So therefore, I've given you something to think about. So your desire should be now that you want to react from the spiritual platform. You want to desire spiritual things. Because that is your constitutional position. Right? The example Srila Prabhupada talks about is fish out of water. The fish in its constitutional position is the water. But you can take the fish out and you can give it a big throne, right? And you put it on the throne, you can give it gold, you can give it cigars and whatever, champagne. Fish will still be very unhappy. So that's our position. We are like fishes out of water. Our constitutional position is the spiritual world, but we are now in the material realm trying to enjoy, but we are not happy. Right? No matter how much you get, you're still not happy. You could be a billionaire, like Donald Trump, he's still not happy. He wants to be the president.
And also he wants to hate people. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean, desire and hate. He desires the position so he can hate others. So this is material position. And our proper desire is to desire our spiritual position. And therefore, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Who am I? What am I supposed to do? Ke Ami, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he met Sanatana Goswami, who is very learned, he knows about 6-7 languages. He was a minister for the Qazi of the Muslim regime in Bengal at that time, in the 15th century, 14th century. So at that time, he was a big minister, and he was the liaison person for all affairs for the Sultan. But he himself wanted to give up all that. And he approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, people say I am so great, I know everything, but I don't even know who I am. So you kindly tell me who I am. So then Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then explained to him Jivera Swarupoi Krishnera Nityadans. That all living entities are actually eternally servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. That is your constitutional position. And what am I supposed to do? You are supposed to be eternally serving the Supreme Lord. And if you can do that eternally, then you are eternally happy. Now, spiritual realm, some of you may think it's like material realm, but it's not. When we talk about spiritual realm, we are talking about eternality. That means what? It's always forever, eternal. And it's full of bliss, ananda. And it's full of knowledge. Whereas material realm is temporary. It's full of suffering. And it lacks proper knowledge.
How are you supposed to serve eternally when you're going to one day die?
Well, that's what we are coming to. Yeah. When you die, it's not that you who dies. It is the body that dies. Okay? Just like your car, right? You got a car, right? What kind of car?
I got a GMC.
Okay.
Very fancy car.
Okay, so but within a year or two, it's going to lose its value, depreciation, and then after that you're thinking of changing it, right? So what changes, the car or you? The car. So similarly, you, the person, is like the spirit soul. You inhabit one body after another body. Dehino asmin yata dehi kaumaram yavanam jara. The living entity, as he from childhood to youth to old age, he changes body. Similarly, at the time of death, he gives up one body to take another body, just like one changes clothes, an external. So one day you're going to throw that GMC and get another GMC. Like that. You know, so we are eternal. Just like if you say, I believe I am who I am, you may say. But if I would ask you, you know, I've asked 2 years ago also, I asked this question. If I say, point to yourself, where would you point? Where? You're pointing to your chin. Point to yourself.
This is me.
No, actually, if I would ask you, what is this? You would say, this is your nose, right? But that's not you. This is your eyes, it's not you. My eyes, my ear, my body, but who are you? You are the soul that inhabits the body and claims it to be yourself. That tendency to claim yourself is called false ego.
False ego.
Yes. So you identify with this material body. That is false ego. Then when you're in the car, you identify the car to be you. Right? If somebody knocks or scratches, you say, why you touch my car? I'll take you to court. But it's just a car, it's a thing. But it's not you. Nobody hurt you. They hurt something external. So now we understand to some extent what our position is. That's what we're meant to do. Now, as long as you don't understand that, you won't attempt to get out of that situation. True? If you're suffering, and if you don't know you're suffering, you're not going to do anything about it. You'll think, "Hey, Sara, Sara." Right? Whatever will be, will be. But as soon as you realize this is not what I'm meant to be or meant to exist in, you'll say, I want to change the situation. True? You're not going to say, I'm happy suffering. Who wants to suffer? Actually, that's true. Nobody wants to suffer. But of course, in general, nobody wants to suffer. So we're not going to talk about rare cases. But people like to suffer, right? So that's not what we are discussing. In general, a normal person don't want to suffer. I'm not talking about abnormal person. So our desire should be the right desire, and that desire should be for the benefit of the spirit soul. Now you see, so otherwise we will desire what the body wants. Right? Like a lot of people nowadays, even men also, they like to look young. You can't stop getting old. Huh? Yeah. But look at the amount of propaganda out there. Right? What is the propaganda about? That you can look young. Yeah. And you can live forever. Well, that's all lies, actually. At your expense. Nobody wants to face reality. And that is the society nowadays. They don't want to know about all these things. And when you bring it up, they say you're a pessimist, and you don't know what life, you're always thinking about all the negativity and so on. But actually, if you face negativity properly, you're actually a better person. You develop the right qualities. Right? Mostly people are fearful. And what they don't know, they are fearing. So when we desire the right things, we become fearless. Once you know what death is, what is there to be afraid of? Correct? And you know, okay, if you accept you're going to die, then you're not afraid. Most people are afraid of death because they don't want to accept it. Now, why don't they want to accept it? Yeah, but why? This explains your nature. Because the spirit soul is eternal. Therefore, when it is faced with death, it is incompatible to its nature. Therefore, it fights death.
Your soul fights with your desire.
Because you're confused. So the spiritual knowledge is to make you unconfused. And then you accept, right? Own your problem. You know, we go to all this management thing, they say you own your problem. But the real problem is you're going to die one day. Nobody wants to own that problem. So what we do is we desire the right things. Okay, what does the spirit side need? I have catered to my material needs. Now what do I need for my spiritual side? Right? That is what Krishna consciousness is all about. So all through your life, your material life, from the day you were born, you were given material things. Your needs, material needs are satisfied. You go to college, they teach you your material needs. But nobody is teaching you about your spiritual needs. So our society has taken up that challenge to teach people about their spiritual needs. And when you understand that, then your desire changes in your life. Then you're not going to think about your GMC. It's true, because it makes no more sense. You know? Then you'll think, I just need a car to take me from point A to point B. Right? A good car. Not necessarily, you know, you spend extravagantly, right? If you spend $500,000 on a car that takes you from point A to point B, which a $10,000 car can do, then you're a fool. You are. You can argue what you want, but you're a fool. Right? It's logical.
Yeah.
Yeah. So therefore, once you understand what is the goal of life of a living entity, then your whole desire changes completely. And participating with your desire is the super soul. What is the super soul? So the Lord himself, when we left this, okay, the reason for our suffering is we left him. We were with the Supreme Lord, but we are like children, right? When the parents tell, don't do it, the kid says, yes, mom, I won't do it, but he'll do it. So we have free will. So the Lord says, don't do it, we still continue doing it like fools. So there's punishment. And that punishment is come to the material world and do your nonsense. You can't do it in the spiritual world because there's only one person who enjoys. Everyone else serves. That's the concept of God. God means he's the man. Over here, we all think we are the man. But actually, we end up not being the man or woman. Okay? So when you understand, okay, that's the God's position, and this is my position. So that's the second level of understanding. First is, I'm not the body, I'm a spirit soul. I come from the spiritual realm. Secondly, I am a spirit soul who was created for the sole purpose of serving the Supreme Lord. And in serving him, I enjoy eternally. But if I serve my own needs and my selfish needs, then I have to suffer in a temporary situation. So therefore, the temporary situation is made to be miserable. Dukhalayam ashashvatam. So this material world is known as Dukkha Alayam and Asashvatam, temporary. That's what's happening. You take a body because in this body, the body, you go and look at yourself in the mirror, that is what you desired in your previous lives. So don't go blame your parents. It's honestly, it's you desired and you got it. You got the lottery. You got the lotto. So that's what it is. You just look at yourself, man, this is what I wanted. Yeah. So then you go through that. And this is all affected by the super soul. Now, when you leave the spiritual world, the Lord is so disturbed because he loves us more than we can love him. Like parents love the child more than the child loves the parents. Same. It's no different. So the Lord loves us more than we can love him. So what he does is follows us. He expands into millions of himself into our hearts, and he becomes the witness. And he witnesses us going through life after life after life suffering. And all the time he is coaxing us, come back. Hey, I'm here, hello. Turn your face, look at me. So in the Upanishad, it gives the example of the two birds in a tree. So one bird is busy eating the fruits of the tree. The other bird is simply watching and waiting for the bird to ask him, why aren't you eating? So the bird that eats the fruit is eating the material karma or creating material karma. So that's what most of us are doing. Right? You get up in the morning, you don't think I'm a spirit soul, you think I am who I am, right? What's your name?
Raj.
Okay, so you get up and say, I am Raj. But when you were sleeping, you never thought you were Raj or think that you were Raj.
Actually, in sleeping, you can become whoever you want.
Exactly. Because in the sleep stage, the soul acts in different desires also. Your dream state is the desires that you want fulfilled or you're dreaming of. So the soul is with the super soul. And the super soul watches what we are desiring. And then he remembers for you. Sarvasya chaham ridi sannivistam mattasmiti jnanam apohananscha. Right? I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. So sometimes you remember and sometimes you forget based on your desires or karma. Right? Oftentimes you say, oh, I can't remember. So it's like that. So the Lord says, okay, you know, you want to desire this, you do this. And then when you can't fulfill that desire, but it's so strong, and then you die, what happens? He facilitates for you to take another birth so that you can fulfill that desire. So let's say you have a desire to eat anything and everything in the world. Whatever you see, eat, escargot, this, that. So you just eat anything. So, but then you still not fulfill and you die. But you have such a strong desire to eat everything. So then, according to the material nature, the person who can eat anything and enjoy anything is a pig. So therefore, in your next life, you get the body of a pig. And let's say someone likes to sleep all the time. So they get a body of a bear. No, yeah, a polar bear or something that can sleep for 6.
Hibernate.
Yeah, hibernate. So you get bodies like that. So that's why we get different bodies. Therefore, there's 8.4 million species, according to the Vedic scripture. And so, whatever your desire is, it'll be one of them. So therefore, you have to desire properly. Okay? It's very important to desire properly. Otherwise, if you think of some bad thing, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajate ante kalevaram tantamavati kunte sada tadbhava bhavita. Whatever you remember at the time of death, oh, son of Kunti, that is where you're going to end up. So let's say you attach to your wife so much, or your girlfriend, then you die thinking of her, then you take birth as a woman. So vice versa, a lady thinks of her husband and dies, she will take birth as a man. And in whatever situations we take birth, according to our karma, we go through all the difficulties again. If you did some good now, in the future you will be rewarded. You may say, oh, I'm not sure. Well, it's the same. If you work hard for your school exams, you're going to get good grades. Right? Normally.
Yes.
If you don't work hard, you're going to get bad grades. In normal circumstances, you should. Okay. So that's what we are trying to understand properly. Desire is one of the key elements for the living entity. He needs to understand what is right desire and what is wrong desire. So when we become materially motivated, the desires that compounds one after the other, it's going to lead you to a bad situation in the future. Okay, right? For example, you get married. First thing when you talk about, generally, you want to get a house. When you're already married, so you don't think about getting another beautiful one. Well, it is maybe it's allowed in his custom. Anyway, I'm just joking. So normally, when couples get married, the first thing they think about is, oh, I got to move out of the house or get a house. So they think of house. So what you see is not what you get, right? But that's what our consciousness is. We want to get the best. So whatever the best is out there, maybe, I don't know what the property price is here, $500,000? Less than that, $250,000?
Similar to Houston.
It's like $500,000.
Huh? Between
$500,000.
$250,000 to $500,000, right? Yeah. But that's just the property and the house. What does it mean? It means you go inside, okay, we have to paint, we have to change the flooring, we have to change the door. Oh, I don't like the bathroom, change the thing and that. Pretty soon it's $1 million house. And then you work until you die. How can you be happy? Right? The whole society is made such a way that you are unhappy at all points of your your life. Think carefully. I'm not making this up, right?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. You have to pay insurance. They set up, the system is set up so that you suffer. You live to work. That's all. So you have to become intelligent now. That's what Krishna consciousness is all about, to make you become intelligent. Otherwise, you are in illusion. It's a hard job. It's a tough one because you may say, okay, I'll have a simple house, all my needs. It's warm in winter and cool in summer. You have everything, but then your neighbor comes and says, you look, we have this, we have that, and then pretty soon you and your husband are fighting. Intelligent means you know what you need for life, and that's it. That's an intelligent person. You meet all the requirements, right? You've been to college, most of you. What's that principle? The hierarchy, Hertzberg principles of hierarchy, right? Huh?
Maslow's needs.
Hertzberg, yeah, Maslow's, yeah. So Maslow, Hertzberg combined, they have one theory also. So that it's there. So basic needs. Once you have all your basic needs, why do you want extras? So mostly, if you look at the pyramid, the higher thing is spirituality. But nowadays, they don't want spirituality. Because why? Spirituality means you have to become. What must your desires become? You must become what? Satisfied. If you become satisfied, what happens to the economy?
You start spending money.
Yeah, so the multiplier effect cannot take place. Try to understand, the whole system is set up to cheat you. That's all. So you're all fools. No, if you become intelligent, you can play the system, right? In casinos, there are some people who know how the system works, and they go there and they make lots of money because they know how the system is. Some people calculate the one-arm bandit. They say after so many cycles, it's going to cash out. So they wait until that many times, and then they go there and put the last coin, and boom, they cash out. There's always a system because everything works on a system. So it's going to break one day. So similarly, the material society, they have a system. It's breaking down every now and then. So how do they fix it? They patch it. So how many of you work in computer industry? Right, so most of the systems are patched because nobody wants to take the time to rip it apart and write new software because it costs a lot more. But actually the maintenance costs more in the long run. Huh? Because every time there's a change request. If you don't believe me, just, what is that? Adobe Flash. Right? It's patch after patch after. Oh no, Microsoft operating system is just patch after patch. So now they have rewritten the whole software, and so now it's new. So wait for a few more years, and it'll be patched.
They charge flat fee.
Oh, don't worry about all that. It's all a system to con you. That's all. You come here to be conned, and my point is, yeah, accept that, but become intelligent. Play the system. So don't become, cheated by the whole thing. Know what your goal in life should be. All right, you want a house? Buy a house. Nobody is stopping you. But don't be a fool. Right? And then you buy a $10 million house, and then you got no buyers when you want to sell. Right? Or you buy a big house. 5-room, 10-room house. You're so proud of it. It's an amazing house, but then nobody to live in. Yeah, and you go to work. Morning you drive to work. Nobody's living in the 10-room house all the time. You come back 6, 7, 8 o'clock, and then you and your wife say, "I'm too tired. Let's go out to eat." It's empty. And then by the time you come, it's 11 o'clock, you sleep for a few hours, time to go to work.
I was listening to a lecture.
Yes.
They mentioned the same thing in Mumbai. Two IT people, they both work in IT. They buy a big flat in the beach, and they both were working in the office. And the maid who lived in the house all day, she actually was enjoying the house.
Exactly. That's reality. That is reality. I know for a fact a friend of mine who bought a house, big house, 3 rooms upstairs, 3 rooms downstairs. And one time, after a year, we went. They invited for some program. We went there, and then during the prasadam time, the lady of the house was saying, we never go upstairs. Why? Because there's only 2 of us, and we live downstairs, and then it's too much to clean anyway. That's reality. Be practical. Don't think I have to have it. That's wrong desire. That's bewilderment. So these are some ideas I'm trying to posit into your intellect so that you can ponder on it and think about it, because what is the favorable desire? Favorable desires are desires that will enhance your transcendental connection with the Supreme Lord. The principles of regulated principles of religion or devotional service, like chanting. Okay, chanting on your mala, on your beads. You can chant. Then you are making a connection. The whole idea behind chanting is, "Oh my Lord, oh Krishna, oh energy of the Lord, I would like to serve you. Please be merciful unto me." It's not counting. If you are rushing to finish, that means you are counting. So you have to adjust your desire also to not to rush. It's a practice. Krishna tells Arjuna, yes, it's difficult, but shanai, gradually you will perfect it. Right? Just like Olympic runners, they don't run 9.58 every day. They have to practice, and then they can run one of them at least. Right? Unless they are on EPO or something like that. Which I think all of them are anyway.
Yeah. But when you're chanting,
yes,
your mind goes everywhere.
Yeah, that means you need practice. Just keep practicing. One day it will stop. So there's 2 ways. When your mind is always running, then you pray. That's what prayers are meant for, to the Lord. What do you all go and do in front of the deities? Just stand and stare? Is it a staring contest between you and God? You're meant to pray. Pray means to ask, help me out. Right? Help me understand what I meant to do properly. So he guides you through different devotees, through the scriptures. Then you rethink it and discuss it, and then you make changes in your life. You have to make changes. You can't go on living the way you are. Okay? Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, so from a pessimistic point of view, why did God create such a system which is meant to be full of suffering? Why doesn't He create a world which is like full of happiness, for example? That would be the real test. Does the new identity really want to come back to the God or not? Imagine the situation, a child is like, I don't want to be with the dad, and what dad did is, I'm going to create a small playground outside my house where I'll send the child, and every time that I play some swing or something over there, I'll put like horns over there. So that ultimately he realize that I'll come back to him.
Well, that's the material world.
See, why would dad do that? It's such a cruel thing to do. If he really wants the child to come back naturally on his soul wish, then he create a world which is full of happiness. That would be the real test.
Yeah, but the thing is, you will not want to go.
Yeah,
that's a problem, isn't it?
No. But if you say that the whole point of humanity, the real nature of humanity is to serve Krishna, then
your nature is spirit. Why do you want to exist in matter?
You said that the nature of humanity is to serve Krishna.
Yes, but by nature is spirit. in nature.
That is the constitutional position.
Yes, he is
If that is
spiritual in
truly
nature.
the constitutional position, then even though the world was full of happiness, this living entity would still desire to be.
Yeah, well, there are people who are thinking they are happy, right? But then eventually he or she has to die.
Again, the system has been rigged in such a way that.
Yes, it is rigged.
And that's who is rigging it.
It is rigged so that you can learn your true identity.
That's my own point. Why would Krishna make such
Otherwise,
a
you
system?
cannot learn.
See, this is this is my point. Like, why would Krishna make such a system which is?
I already answered your question. You will not understand otherwise. If you're always enjoying, you will never know what your real nature is and what you're meant to do.
That's like forcing a person to do.
No, you don't seem to understand that the enjoyment here is temporary. Everything you enjoy is temporary.
That's the system has been made such
No,
a way.
you see, the real nature, there is only one enjoyer, true enjoyer. And that is the Supreme Lord. Therefore, you are saying, why don't the Lord give me a spiritual realm where I can enjoy eternally?
For example,
It's not possible because there's only one spiritual realm.
that's the sort of pyramid as I see it.
No, that's not it. There can only be one enjoyer.
That's the absolute definition of pyramid.
No, that is the absolute definition of God.
Tyranny.
It's not tyranny. It's your definition of what tyranny is. Yeah.
If my position was really to be a servant of God, then despite the material world being a really happy place, I would still desire for him. I would yearn for him.
How would you
That
know?
would be the real test.
How would you know?
And not that God is supposed to make a system.
How would you know?
That if this is a claim that this is the very nature of my soul, then despite material happiness, I would still yearn for that.
No, you're covered by the material nature. So how are you going to know?
See, I see this as a force system. Like
No, it's not. Originally, you were created in the spiritual realm, right? And you could not stay in the spiritual realm. You ignored the Lord and came here. He didn't force you to come here. Yeah. So therefore, you already have that consciousness of living separate from Him, and He needs to help you come to your correct consciousness.
Why can't He let me go? Why does He want me to come back?
Because He loves you more than you love Him.
Then I should come on my own volition, not because of a religious system.
No, the system is that there is no other place except the spiritual realm for you to come back. The only way you understand that is to go through the difficulties of the material realm.
I'm going to share up with this. Like, all I hear is this: our dad has a son, the son decided to leave the house. So the dad has created a whole system outside his house.
No, the dad didn't create any system. Okay, all right, you are saying the dad, okay, he has created
He
that.
has created such a system that I'm going to create such a system that he's going to go out, he's going to suffer, and he's going to come back to me. That's true. If that son is really coming back on his own volition, he would create, a natural simple word that he has a possibility, an option of living outside.
Look at it a different way. The same example where dad creates the entire system. The son goes out and lives on his own, which was his decision. Dad created that system to make sure that whatever his son, who is habitual of all that, he enjoys that. And in case if he has any issue, he can always come back to me.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Think about it.
That would be nice.
If you live a healthy life, you will never think about a doctor. The only time you think about a doctor is when you fall sick. And then you say, oh, you know what? I'm having a heart problem. I'm going to have to go to the doctor.
And here is a doctor who has created diseases inside the world. So
It's not your bad habits that are created. You drink, you smoke, you get cancer, you die.
Like, Krishna has created this world in such a way that it is full of suffering. We didn't create this world this way. It's created in such a way that
because you left a perfect situation.
Exactly. And then if he wants to come back on my own love and volition, it should not be that I'm going to rig the world in such a way that he's going to suffer over there and then he's going to desire to come
No,
back.
you don't seem to understand what creation is. You don't want to serve. You are meant to serve. You don't want to serve, first of all.
If that is true,
Yes.
then I would be desiring to serve despite the extreme happiness maybe the world will give me. If I really love my wife, it would not be that if I really want to show that my
No,
wife
you
comes
still
back
didn't
to me, it's
understand.
not
No.
that-
You see, you were created to serve, and you refuse to serve. So you need to go somewhere else.
Sure.
So then the Lord created a situation for you to enjoy yourself.
Sure.
But He wanted you to understand what your original position is.
That's still.
Yeah, that's not
That's
tyranny.
very
I don't know what
definition.
your definition, where you coming from tyranny. It's
It's
not
like,
tyranny.
here's my wife. She wants to leave me, and I'm.
No, you don't understand. This whole world is created perfectly. For whatever you want to do, you can do perfectly here in this world. Yes, you can forever. You can forever listen. You can go on forever, eternally thinking you are happy in this world, but that is not your position.
Why then, people
What?
who want to live happy life, they should be able to live happy life.
Yeah, so they have to continue doing the right things. There's always
What is your definition of
Yeah.
happiness?
yeah.
What is your
What is your
definition?
exactly? You know what
You
I
know,
mean?
the happiest people are who are meditating in
How can you
Himalaya
say-
or sadhus,
you're
They are
saying-
the real happy people, not
You're
those
saying
who are
this
living in-
material world is a happy place. That's what you're saying.
No. I would love if that was true, but you are claiming that the material world has been created in such a way that it's not a happy place by default. It's Mukhaliya Shashwat.
Yes, it is not a happy place.
Why?
If you indulge in material activities, then it's not a happy place. If you indulge in spiritual activity, it is a happy place. It's your
not
choice to
like,
make.
Krishna has made this word that, alright, if you choose to be away from it, then, like.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Anyway,
But regardless of whether you have the car or not, whether you have the home or not,
Yeah.
if inside, if you're thinking that, you know what, whether I have that or not, I'm gonna be happy. I don't care. If
Yes.
That's the
become
sadhus.
the stage of the materialistic life, then no matter, if I put you in the on Antarctica, you still gonna live a happy
I
life.
totally agree with you. That's fine.
That
So I
can
think
only-
that's what.
That can only happen if you're spiritually inclined. It cannot happen if you're materially inclined.
Correct, right.
Yeah. So when you turn away from Krishna, you're materially inclined. It is.
Yeah,
The spiritual, the spirit soul is attracted to either spirit or matter. If he is attracted to matter, he is suffering because he doesn't enjoy complete happiness.
I'm 110% with you. This is the first time I have ever attended this type of class.
Yeah,
And what you were telling me, everything that you just explained me,
yeah.
I can correlate that with all the things that I have been doing.
Mhm.
And I can put that in the slot and
Yeah,
I
no.
can decode
Yes,
the-
I also want to say, not everyone is going to get the same thing. So we all go through our lives, and at some point in our life, it's going to click. It's going to make sense. So I'm not saying you're wrong.
No. Like, here's my point. I want to go back to Krishna not because I'm suffering in this material world. No. That's not what my motivation is.
Yeah,
I want to
so-
go back to Krishna because I actually want to be in love with him. Not because I'm suffering so much. That's why because I desire happiness.
True, that is the right mood, but the
But like-
point is, you will not turn to Krishna until you suffer.
That is forced.
But that is your nature.
That's forced.
No,
No,
also,
it's not
if
Krishna's fault.
you love somebody so much and you are separated from them, you will suffer. Isn't that a suffering?
That would be okay.
That is the suffering.
That is
That's
the suffering.
That's
That is
suffering.
suffering.
If the material world was made a happy place, totally, you can get anything you want and you will enjoy. If that was indeed true, if this is my constitution, I'll be suffering despite the happiness. I would accept such a material world. That would
No.
be perfect.
Unless you know who the Supreme Lord is and what it is, you do not know what real happiness is.
No, you're thinking that Krishna has made this place as a suffering, but that actually this is, you think in other perspective, you have experienced Krishna, you have experience of Krishna, and you are looking for that experience in this material world.
That's
You're
a good
not
point.
getting that, that's why you're having,
That's
that's why
why
you're
that's
suffering.
the problem.
That was
It's not like Krishna has made
That's
this
a good
suffering.
point.
That is, if material was made in such a way, that would be amazing. That would be like
No, but-
pure, yes. That was
He
the
still
idea.
wants a spiritual world in the
But you see, the whole world is such a way that in case a person chooses to leave Krishna and enjoy separately from him, the material
No,
world is
what
created
kind
in
of-
such a
So
way that
material
you
world
can
is
do that.
created in such a way that you can enjoy, you can do whatever you want.
Why is
But
it
the
created
problem
temporarily?
is, you have experience of this level, and which you cannot get anywhere except Krishna.
Yeah. But it's very simple. People who
अगर जैसे एक बच्चा है, अगर उसको अपने पेरेंट्स का एक्सपीरियंस है, no matter वो कितने भी relatives के पास जाए, he cannot experience the love of a parent. And that's why he suffers with the different.
Prabhupada also gives another example that this place is also known as a prison house. Okay.
Why would Krishna create a prison?
Because we are like prison, I mean criminals. We want to enjoy. No, listen. Yeah, we want to enjoy from Krishna, but we don't want the person who created it.
That's kind of like, if you're not with me, I'm going to send you to prison.
Yeah, that's your position now. But like I said, as you understand further, you will see what I'm saying. Yeah, because not everyone is going to understand the first time. It's a fact. You have to go through what you have to go through, and then you will come to a certain level of understanding.
Well, it's the same thing, right? Kindergartner cannot demand, I want to learn
Exactly.
calculus.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
You have to learn 1, 2, 3 first, and
Yes.
then you spend some time.
Yeah.
No matter how smart you are,
That's,
you think you are.
1 + 1 is 2 to primary school, but you go to the university level, they say it could be under base 2 is 1, 0, or 3, or 1, 1, or whatever they want to do it. That's how it is. But that's what it is. We are considered criminals because we want to enjoy, but we want everything that Krishna has in the spiritual world, but we don't want Krishna. That's not correct.
You think in that perspective, even this is not possible for Krishna to make environment so that you become happy without Krishna.
It's not possible.
Even not possible for Krishna. This is Krishna in your nature that you can become happy with each other only. It is not possible for Krishna also. So Krishna has done his best. Krishna has done his best to make available all of what you want. But that's not possible for Krishna also, because Krishna and you both cannot become happy unless you both.
Actually, you cannot say Krishna has done his best. Krishna has. This is the best. Yeah.
No, the point I'm trying to convey is that for Krishna and for you, you both cannot become happy while separate.
Can Krishna be happy without me?
He's not. That's why he's helping you.
Oh, I would love that.
Yes, that's my point.
Exactly why we are sitting
That's
here.
my point from the beginning. He loves you more than you love.
Okay, so he's also suffering without me.
Yes, that's why
exactly
he's
why we are
always.
sitting here and talking about him. Otherwise, what's the point, right?
If Krishna is not happy without you, why come
Yes.
to us and call that Bhagavad Gita?
Giving the some example from the quoted from the Shastra, where they actually just give him from the Shastra quoting verses, and you will understand.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can give him that.
And where is his quoted?
It's very. Actually, it's not easy for most people to understand this process where a living entity leaves the kingdom of God. They cannot understand that. It's very difficult. Why? They always ask this question, why? But the most simple answer is a parent and a child. The father tells the son, I don't want you to do this thing. It's not good for you. And then the son says yes. But then as soon as the father is away, he will do it anyway. And you think, why did he do it? He knows it's wrong, and his father told him it's wrong, and yet he did it. Why? It's free will. So that free will, even God himself cannot force.
So really,
Yes.
the very verse before the verse which you said, Krishna says, I know and knows the past, present, and future.
Yes,
If he knows the future, there is no absolute free will.
there is free will always.
That's another discussion.
Yeah, it's a totally different when he says past, present, future. Whatever decision you make, Krishna will know anyway. But he's not going to interfere with your decision making.
That is in the sense that, let's say one is a drunk yard and is going to the bar, and it's obvious that I know the future is going to order the beer or drink. In that sense, I know the future, but I'm not holding his free will. So from Krishna's perspective, he knows us for billions of unlimited time. He knows whatever we are going to desire. In that sense, he knows the future, but it doesn't mean that he is holding our free will. It is illogical also to if Krishna is holding your free will, you're not a being, right? But what is the need of Krishna to come and give the Bhagavad Gita all these messages? If he knows the future, he knows your free will. If he's handling you,
He knew very perfectly that this is going to happen, this is going to happen.
He orchestrated the whole thing.
He orchestrated.
No, but then no. You must understand. He says this will happen, but he tells Arjuna, it's your choice. Do you want to assist me or not? Yeah, so it was Arjuna's choice to assist. So his point is, if you don't assist, I'll find someone else. He never forced Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita.
Just
And
show
if there is
them
no
the
free
right
will,
path.
simple logic, if there is no free will, why he would given the Bhagavad Gita? What is the need to read Bhagavad Gita? If I don't have free will to do or not to do.
That is true.
And a lot of people
No, actually, if you have no free will, then you're a robot. You know, if you have no free will, then you're a robot. I just programmed it. No, that's only the body. Yeah, but the soul is not.
Soul is not true.
Yeah, so the soul controls the body.
Mind is the one who's willing and thinking, and mind is just
No, the mind is under the purview of the soul. It's not independent.
Yeah, I'm a hard-headed person.
That's okay. It's good to get once in a while people like you. It also sharpens our intellect. So I thank you for that.
So why you mentioned, right, the people who inclined to Krishna, spiritual also suffering according to our eyes, right? Like say RadhaKrishna Paramahamsa suffered from throat cancer, Ramana Maharishi suffered from, and even our Prabhupada had a heart attack. Why those people are suffering?
So that we can, Krishna is through that we can understand that to serve Krishna is more important. Serving Krishna. Why they are suffering is even when they are suffering in such a situation, they never give up on Krishna.
Think of a good example for us, they never give up on the
Yes.
but why the suffering for them, even though they serve the Krishna for
Isn't this
many
where
years?
the karma comes into the picture? You know, if you have done something wrong, you know, this is where, you know, you have to pay for it. If you did
You
something
see,
wrong,
our
whether or not,
understanding is always if somebody is spiritual, then automatically they cannot suffer all these things. But that is not the point what Krishna is making. He says it doesn't matter whether you're sick, you're wealthy, you're poor, or in any situation, you can still worship me. So when a devotee goes through any kind of difficulty, he doesn't allow that to take his mind from Krishna. He still pursues Krishna. So that's what you see in the great devotees, you know, like Pandavas, they go through so much difficulties, but they never gave up on Krishna. Most people, ordinarily, when they have some problem only, the bank doesn't give them a loan, they say, what kind of God is that? He doesn't give me a loan, you know, right? But Pandavas, they don't. They say, it's okay, you know, I'll continue. Krishna has something planned for me. That's how a devotee thinks, even though he's suffering. He doesn't see it as a suffering. From his point of view, he thinks, I deserve more. Because of all the nonsense I've done by leaving the Supreme Lord, you know, I want to be independent from him instead of being with him. I have done so much nonsense, and therefore I deserve more. That's how he thinks. So that's
if you're smoking, if you get a lung cancer, if you believe in God, you know.
yeah, okay. It's a nice example. You smoke, then later on you became a devotee. Then 15 years later you get lung cancer. Then who are you going to blame? You understand? Then you'll say, Krishna, I deserve this. I probably should have died long ago, but you've been kind, you prolonged my life so that I can develop my love for you. So now let this be my last trial. Even at this moment, I will not let you go. And then you catch Krishna, then he's caught. Because he says, wow, this guy really loves me. Then there is real love.
Even people who are not at all spiritual, they become spiritual when they get cancer and some life-threatening disease.
Yeah,
when they say, God, you save me, I promise I'll leave everything, I'll be a good person, I'll use my life, I was wasting. You know, I have an example, Yuvraj Singh, he is the cricketer, when he got cancer. Before that, he used to drink and party. Typical, very successful guy. And 29 years of age, he gets cancer. And he said, I look back at my life and I was like, I wasted my life. I had so much talent to play cricket. I did not even justify my talent.
So then you find.
So then he changed. Today he doesn't drink. Nobody told him to stop. He himself stopped.
There are exceptions also like that who do. I've seen people who pray to God, and as soon as they got better, they went back to the old bad habits. So there are cases like that. So, but yeah, there are people like that. True. So
Thank you so much.
Time's up,
Any
no?
more questions?
Decide. No, but it's good. I actually am glad you brought it all those things up. It brought out a lively discussion.
So we digress a little bit that we all learned a lot. Everybody had
that's
a
good.
chance and opportunity to participate, which is really nice. So
Yes,
I'm very grateful that Anu Prabhu brought up that. So, well, we expect to see you tomorrow as well. We're going to be discussing what is devotional service. So that will answer a lot of your questions. So please join us tomorrow. And then there's a home program on Friday. And we're going to be talking about the characteristics of devotional service. So if you'd like to join us and have not received an invitation, please come and see me. I've been asked to invite anybody who would like to come to that program on Friday if you want to. Okay, so have you got the invite? No. Because I can give you the information.
So we have class tomorrow?
Yes, same time. So, so today we had dinner first. And we do the same thing, have dinner first so you're more relaxed, and then come for the class. So, and elongate your, Prabhu's not had dinner yet, so dinner for
that's okay. I'm still jet lagged, so.
But thank you all so much for coming, and let others know as well to join us. Some nice topics, and as you see, Prabhu's very easygoing and friendly. So you can ask and interrupt and learn what you want.
Yeah, if I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know.
Wait, are you staying in this town or are you staying in this?
It's close by.
Yeah, for this.
I'm not going to disturb it. But this
No, last time I was staying here, but now there's no place.
Thank you.